Biden ignoring questions about classified documents found in a private office he used after serving as vice president. Let's bring in Karl Rove because, well, sounds a little similar, Karl?
But there are differences. For example,
now I usually like my whiteboard breakdown in the form of Katie Porter versus whoever she's giving a lesson to. But if you were to tell me that I'd enjoy watching Karl Rove using one on Fox News, then I'd ask you what in the name of George Santos is going on. But today, while on Fox News, he decided the only way to get Fox News to understand the differences between the 10 documents turned over by the Biden administration and the countless classified documents Trump ordered be removed and taken to Mar-a-Lago, he had to literally spell it out for them.
President Biden ignoring questions about classified documents found in a private office he used after serving as vice president. The papers were discovered in a locked closet just days before the midterms. The administration says the White House is cooperating with the National Archives and the Department of Justice regarding the discovery of what appear to be Obama-Biden administration records, including a small number of documents with classified markings. The documents were discovered when the president's personal attorneys were packing files housed in a locked closet to prepare to vacate office space at the Penn Biden Center in Washington, D.C. So let's bring in Karl Rove because, well, sounds a little similar, Karl?
Well, there are differences, but you can't make this stuff up. But there are differences. For example, how many documents? In Biden's case, there appear to be about 10. In the case of President Trump, hundreds. How did they get there? We don't yet know how the documents got to the Biden office connected with his activities on behalf of the University of Pennsylvania. We know that President Trump ordered the removal of the documents to Mar-a-Lago. How responsive were they when the Biden people found out about it? They immediately called the appropriate authorities and turned them over. We spent a year and a half watching the drama unfold in Mar-a-Lago, and it had to end in a police search to recover the documents. But still, despite the differences, this is going to create lots of headaches for the Department of Justice in deciding how to handle President Trump's issues, because now they have an issue that, at least in the minds of a lot of ordinary Americans, are going to be conflated as being roughly the same.
Yep.
That's why I think they did a smart thing in turning this over to the U.S. Attorney in Chicago to look at initially, because that's one of the two remaining Trump-appointed U.S. attorneys left in the Justice Department. That in the Delaware, the Delaware U.S. attorney is looking into Hunter Biden.
Now, after the revelation that potentially classified materials were discovered at a think tank office formerly used by President Joe Biden, the MAGA nuts, well, they've been frothing at the mouth to play their favorite game of whataboutism and demanding that people equate this to the seizure last year of hundreds of documents marked as classified from Mar-a-Lago.
Which is the government has very strong evidence of what it really needs to determine whether charges are appropriate, which is government documents were taken, classified information was taken and not handled appropriately, and they are looking into, and there's some evidence to suggest that they were deceived. And none of that really relates to the content of documents. It relates to the fact that there were documents there, and the fact that they were classified, and the fact that they were subpoenaed and never delivered.
Now, aside from the obvious differences pointed out in regards to the abundance and the contents of the documents, immediately after finding them, Biden's personal attorneys alerted the White House counsel's office. Now, the reason there was a raid at Mar-a-Lago in the first place is that after being notified of Trump's materials, investigators from the Justice Department and the FBI visited Mar-a-Lago to get more information about the materials, and they served a subpoena for some documents that were believed to be at the estate. Fast forward then to August, when the FBI agents conducted this search, retrieving 33 boxes from Mar-a-Lago. That search only came after lawyers for Trump provided a sworn certification that all government records had been returned, which was clearly not true.
Half watching the drama unfold in Mar-a-Lago, and it had to end in a police search to recover the documents. But still, despite the differences, this is going to create lots of headaches for the Department of Justice in deciding how to handle President Trump's issues, because now they have an issue that, at least in the minds of a lot of ordinary Americans, are going to be conflated as being roughly the same.
Yeah.
Our blue wall stopped the red wave and election deniers got denied election. That's why we're celebrating with the new Democracy Prevails team. We've got lots of work to do, but we should all be proud that when democracy was tested, democracy prevailed. You've earned this. Don't wait. Get yours right now at store.MeidasTouch.com. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.